G'day, it's TVB. I'm here today filming the first video in my junior year of college dorm. This is crazy. And I have a very special birthday shout out to my new friend Jade. I had a blast meeting you and Tiana in Frankfurt this past summer. And funny story, this is the second summer in a row that I've met a pair of lovable Australians, because last year in 2018, my scout camp, this year was special. It was our 100th year anniversary, so it was a big jamboree camp, so scouts from all over the world showed up. That includes Americans, Europeans, Canadians, and Australians, like two cool dudes that I shared my campsite with. And my godmother lives in Australia. I haven't seen her in years, but she mailed me this shirt as like a birthday present a few years ago. And my friend Rachel just got back from studying abroad in Australia, so I really think tonight is just the night where I just celebrate Australian things, including Australia's national animal. So, Jade, again, happy birthday. You're a very wonderful person, and so is everyone that I've met this past summer, my Frankfurt trip. Viel Spaß to all you guys. And yeah, let's talk about kangaroos. The kangaroos you're probably familiar with are marsupials of the family Macropodidae, hailing from Australia. This family includes tree kangaroos and the genus of great kangaroos called Macropus that we'll be covering today. The antilopine kangaroo, the red kangaroo, the smallest species of kangaroo being the western gray kangaroo at 24 kilograms or 56 pounds, and the biggest being the eastern gray kangaroo at 68 kilograms or 150 pounds. Kangaroos never walk or run. They literally bounce and hop everywhere they go. They're physically unable to use just one foot at once, and usually hop around at a speed of 32 kilometers per hour or 20 miles per hour. If necessary, they can hop at speeds of like 48 kilometers per hour or 30 miles per hour, and can leap 7 meters or 17 feet in just one bound. The word kangaroo even translates to the Aboriginal word for big foot. Kangaroos can also escape from predators like dingoes by swimming, as they move in the water in a doggy paddle sort of motion. But if they're in northern Australia and escape from dingoes by swimming, aren't they just vulnerable to saltwater crocodiles or bull sharks? That sounds like a out of the frying pan into the fire sort of scenario to me. In terms of diet, kangaroos are Australia's answer to cows. Believe me, where there's a norm amongst other animals in the rest of the world, Australia will always have its own twist. Always. Kangaroos are herbivorous and eat grass, leaves, flowers, moss, and depending on where they're at, fruits and veggies. Hey, when I was an intern at Busch Gardens, we fed the kangaroos carrots. Just look at them, they're so cute. Yes, Busch Gardens may have friendly kangaroos in the Australian region of their park, but in the wild, kangaroos shouldn't be messed with, especially the biggest of the bunch, the eastern grey kangaroos. They have surprisingly sharp claws, and there's a lot of truth to the classic idea of them being good at boxing. If you anger a kangaroo for whatever reason, walk away sideways, like this. This gives the beast less area to punch or claw you. Raise your hands to look bigger and lean away from the attacking animal. And like most angry animals, don't run from a kangaroo. You will be pursued, and after what I said about their hopping abilities earlier, it shouldn't be a surprise to why you'd lose that race. You now definitely have a grasp on kangaroos if you didn't already, and you probably are aware of another group of Australian marsupials called wallabies. What are the differences between kangaroos and wallabies, you may ask? The obvious difference is their size, as the biggest wallaby is still smaller than western grey kangaroos, and the tallest of kangaroos can be almost 3 meters or 8 feet in height. In addition to varying fur colors, kangaroos are more at home in open outbacks, while wallabies have more compact legs that make them more suitable for a life in the woods. Finally, wallabies have more flat teeth designed for crushing leaves in their forested environment. Kangaroos don't have as many of these teeth since they live in areas with not as many trees. Before he created SpongeBob, Steven Hillenburg was a marine biologist who also worked on Rocko's Modern Life, another Nickelodeon cartoon that came out in the 90s. And Hillenburg clearly knew his stuff, as Rocko is a wallaby who has mostly flat teeth in his mouth. Rip Steven. Perhaps the largest feature that kangaroos have that separates them from other mammals is their world-famous pouches. Female kangaroos have a short gestation period of 1 month, and this gives birth to a jelly that's only an inch long and is blind, deaf, and hairless. Other mammals like rodents, hoofed animals, whales, dogs, cats, and primates like us humans are placental mammals that have long gestation periods that end with giving birth to a fully formed offspring. Marsupials, however, finish the rest of their growth by suckling their mom's milk in their pouch. 6 months later, the joey is big and hairy enough to look out of the mother's pouch and can leave the pouch to hop around and graze, though they still return to their mom for protection and sleep. And after less than a year, the little kangaroo leaves the pouch for good and lives on its own. And finally, kangaroos and their marsupial relatives are not in dire need of conservation as a whole. However, the main threats that most of these signature Australian mammals face are loss of habitat, hunting, car accidents, and having to compete with introduced animals like rabbits, dogs, cats, and other farm animals like sheep. Australia has had the most dramatic amount of mammal extinctions out of all the continents. During the last ice age, the large island was full of terrifying megafauna like the Procoptodon, a giant short-faced kangaroo that was taller than a person and weighed 200 to 240 kilograms or 440 to 529 pounds. And if you think Australian wildlife is terrifying nowadays, these big boys had to deal with megalania, a huge lizard species that's basically a Komodo dragon the size of a small car. Most of these giant animals from the large island went extinct 20,000 to 10,000 years ago, roughly the same time humans first arrived to the land down under. Thank you all so much for watching once again. Jade, have a happy birthday. I started Instagram for whatever reason, so yeah, feel free to follow me. The description is in the link down below, and yeah, I post, I love to draw a lot of pictures. I have my sketchbook right here. Stuff like this and that, and yeah, I drew this funny guy. Yeah, all the artwork is on Instagram, so yeah, if you guys want another way to stay in touch with me and, be caught up on the show, that's a good way to do so. That with Twitter and Facebook, and of course Patreon, if you guys want to really support my channel and, have some extra money in my pocket so I can, make some, I can, be a bigger name in this whole, giant field that is YouTube. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching, and yeah, have a nice night.